just wanted to give a quick demo of where we're heading. Here in my local browser, under localhost, I'm running a server, and you can see I'm creating a simple scene in Babylon.js, and I can move forward. And previously, I would pass through the boxes, so now there are obstacles, so you can't pass through them. And even if you're looking up and you move forward, you stay on the ground. If you look down, you stay on the ground. Where previously you'd pass through the floor or fly up into the sky. So now these obstacles work. So that's covered in a repository where I'm writing a book. So stop the server. I have this code repository that's at GitHub. Homan Chou, which is my name, /XR. And in this repository, you'll find a book that's in progress and also a project that is a Phoenix Elixir code base. It's a Phoenix project. And this book, up to that part that I just showed you, covers about chapter 11. And Dom is sort of my guinea pig for testing it on a complete newbie, a user that hasn't had a lot of experience using the terminal, isn't familiar with web development at all. So she's run the commands up to chapter 3, I think. So I'll kind of recap what happened in chapter 1 through 3, and then we'll proceed with chapter 4. So there's some dependencies that you need. In chapter 1, we established who this book is for, and I kind of say it's for web developers, but I hope it's for anyone who's enthusiastic about it. VR in a website. In chapter 2, we download some dependencies, like you need to install Elixir and like Chrome and a couple of other things, so that talks about that. We left off last time at starting a project. So in here, we created a new Phoenix project using this command that you'll run in your terminal, which your terminal is running a shell like bash or Z shell. And so this mix command comes with Elixir. So after you install Elixir, you'll be able to run mix. If you don't do the previous steps when you try to do this, you'll get an error, like mix is undefined. And this says create a new Phoenix project called XR with binary ID. That just means the default is creating tables with auto incrementing integers, which means that if you create a room, the ID of the room will be 1, and then the next room you create, the ID will be 2, and so forth. And it will use those IDs in the URLs. If you use this flag, it will, when you enter the command for generators, it will create tables that automatically have a UUID for the record. So they're random, not guessable, but I sort of thought that they were too long. So in the chapter, I explain how to replace the UUID with a string and just use a sort of short random ID. That's an optional thing. I just thought that it was random enough, like just 5 random characters is random enough versus binary ID, which seems really long. Then web development in Phoenix is database backed. So there is and we also want to store some data. So we need a database. And in order to support that, instead of installing a database on your computer, I went for another tool called Docker. So that's a whole other thing. And here you have a snippet of a Docker file, which after you install Docker on your machine, so here I'm on a Mac, I'm running, this is a Docker desktop. Once that's running, you can run a command to start a database using Docker compose up, and then you'll be able to run, create a logical database. And then we can start our server. So we got up to the point where we could run our server. So it's hosted at localhost 4000. So if you put that in a browser, you'll see the welcome Phoenix page. And then we created a landing page for rooms. So Dom ran this command, which is to run a generator to create rooms. And what that did was it created a bunch of files for us. And then we added this line to our router, which gave us the ability to now go to localhost port 4000/rooms. And then I call this a cruddy resource. So meaning if you run this command, you'll see all of the different places you can go to now. These are new routes provided by this line. So you can go to /rooms to see a list of rooms. You can go to new, or just click on the links on the page, and it will have these different paths for these different functions for adding a room, editing a room, deleting a room, and so forth. So Dom did that, and she kind of played with it. And that's sort of where we left off. So I think in this chapter, we can continue with this chapter, which we also created the random ID generator. We can continue with this chapter and modify the home page, because without that, it's still the default Phoenix page. So we can go ahead and finish this chapter, and then let's see how long that takes, because the rest of this is customizing ES build, because Phoenix comes with a sort of a built-in default version of ES build. And in the book, I replace it because I want to do some, I want to add a plugin to the ES build process. And that plugin requires like vanilla ES build, not the one that comes with Phoenix. So if you want to use plugins, you got to swap it out. The plugin that I use is to do TypeScript type checking. That's not a mandatory thing, so we could probably skip it for this lesson and we can come back to do it. It's just following these set of instructions. You never need to look at it again. It's nothing to do with understanding how to build the architecture of the website as a whole. But if you want to have all of your files using TypeScript, and when you compile it, see those errors, it's nice to have. So Dom, I'll guide you through it. If you're ready to share your screen, let's see if you can run the server on your side. Do you remember which dependencies you need? You need Docker desktop running. You need to remember how to run your server, and we can go to localhost and you can poke around there again. So I'll stop my share so you can share.
Okay, give me a sec. Yeah, so okay, I will put the book on one side and the other thing on the other side. I will start to Docker room utilities. Okay, so okay,
Want to share your screen?
yes. Desktop one. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So this is one side. Okay, this is the other side. Oh, do I need this? It's Docker.
You don't have to. You don't really need it.
Okay, cool.
If you want to install the extensions for Elixir, that would be helpful.
Oh. I've already taken everything out, but
Yeah, I'll show you where to get it. So in
okay.
VS Code, see those buttons along the left ridge?
Left.
Yeah, go down. I think it's the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that one. Click on that
What?
one, and then search for Elixir.
Elixir. Oh,
Yeah, I passed it. Okay, so the first one there, go ahead and
install.
install that one. Yeah.
Okay, installing. Okay,
Okay.
done.
Yeah, so that's done.
Okay.
So that one's useful for coloring your code, and I think it will also maybe you have to enable it, but it can format it for you.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's great.
Right. Okay, so now you can put this code on the right side. Is your server still running? Probably not, right? So
Mhm.
try to run your server.
Try to run my server. Okay,
Right.
so this
So go to
is
the so
go to terminal,
right, go to the terminal, which is
huh?
in your bottom right.
Uh,
Yeah, that's your terminal.
uh, uh, run it.
So you're gonna run IEX
Oh, IEX
uh, dash X
dash
dash S, no space
S.
space
Oh, that
space. Or actually yeah, backspace all of
or
that. Use your up button. It might still be in your
this one.
well, that's something else. Yeah, maybe it's been too long. Maybe you run other commands. Yeah, keep going up until you see.
Oh, I
Right.
run some Python stuff.
Yeah.
One. Oh no, those are Python.
Okay, if it's been too long, just do
This one,
IEX.
this one.
Yes, yes,
IEXS.
yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay, so run that. And if this gives you an error, which it did, it means your Docker is not running.
Mhm.
So cancel using Control C twice.
Control C.
Right,
This one. Mm.
right. So start up Docker first. Do you remember how to do that?
No. Docker. Somewhere here, right?
So it's a Mac application. So start Docker desktop from your Mac.
Oh, all that wealthy. Uh,
Yeah.
Docker.
Hmm.
Eh. Oh, okay. Oh, here.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So once that's running,
Mm.
you can minimize it.
Is this running?
Yeah, it says running.
Really? How can I know it's running here?
Well, if you read it, it says running right in the middle.
Eh? Right in the middle, where? No, new version. Eh? I didn't see it says it's running. It's here. Here.
Okay.
Eh, where?
Stop moving your mouse, and I'll tell you.
Uh,
Move your mouse left 2 inches.
mm.
That's way more than 2 inches. Move your mouse right 1 inch.
Oh, here. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Done.
Okay. Try that command again in the terminal.
Oh, here.
Hmm. Okay.
Mm,
No errors.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
So open up your browser and load the page.
Page.
Mhm.
Local 4000.
Yeah.
This one.
Okay. So this is the home page.
Mm,
So we should probably change this to just be some links
mm,
for room.
mm.
If you Otherwise, you have to remember to type /rooms after 4000. So go ahead and do that.
Oh, so what's that? The rooms post
No? Yeah,
rooms.
yeah, right there.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is a list of rooms, right?
yeah.
Okay. So we want to be able to get to here from anywhere. So go to the book.
The book. The book. Okay.
Okay. So scroll down. You did this already.
Mm,
Keep going.
mm,
Creating rooms. You did that.
mm,
Keep going. Keep going.
mm.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
Yeah, we ran them out. Keep going.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
create
going.
rooms.
Okay, so I think you're here.
Mm.
Return to index after room create. I don't think you did that.
Oh.
So you can
Mm.
read that part.
Oh, return to index. Return to index. Where is that?
Just the bottom segment where it says return to index after room create. It's in bold.
Oh, here. Okay. So this one, right?
Mhm.
Okay. One thing that I don't like is that after I create a room or edit a room, we are immediately redirected to the room's show route. I would like to remain on the index so that we can continue where we left off and are not immediately thrown to a room. Additionally, if I hit my back button from within the room, I am returned to the index. We can make this change now. Open up room control.ex and edit the create and update functions to redirect us back to the index route. Okay.
Let me give you a demonstration of.
Oh, great.
So go to your, no, keep
Oh,
sharing. I'm going to have you
oh,
demonstrate it
okay.
because you're running the server now. I'm not running this one. Okay, go to your browser
No, go. Okay.
and create a new room
Okay.
and just call it like
Two.
test. Yeah, sure. Test two again. Okay,
Mm,
so you save it.
mm,
Okay, look at the URL. You see
mm.
where you are? Your,
WPI19.
yeah, after you created a room,
Mm,
you jumped into the room. This is what I mean.
mm,
You're in the room because the route is the show route. The
mm,
show route means rooms
mm,
slash the ID.
mm.
Click on edit this room.
Edit this room. Okay. Edit this room.
Or
Yeah.
if you add a description, just say
Mm,
whatever.
just for testing.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
Oh.
also return back to the show route, you see?
Mm,
So I want to, but we're going to replace the show route with
mm.
Babylon.js.
Oh.
So after you edit something, I don't want to end up in the room
Mm,
in VR.
mm,
After you create a room, I don't want to end up in the room in VR. I
mm.
want to stay on the index page. So if you click on the back to rooms link,
Yeah.
this is the index page. Notice the URL does not have WP whatever.
Yes.
So that's what I want. So the change you're
Oh.
about to make is after you create a room or
Mm,
update a room, I want you to I want you to go back.
mm,
I want you to be redirected to
mm,
the index page, which is this page, which is just listing the rooms.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm,
So follow the instructions in the book and see if you know what to do.
okay. Wow. Okay. So show root. Open up room underscore control.ex, room underscore control.ex, and edit the create and update functions to redirect us back to the index root. Okay, so
So
edit and create.
that tilde p rooms, that's a kind of special thing in Elixir. It's called a sigil, which means that it's going to be replaced with something, but
This one.
yeah.
Mm. So this one needs to be replaced by this.
Mm, no. You want to look at the create and update functions. So go back to your code.
Okay.
Okay. This is a delete function.
Redirect. Okay, so you want to redirect to the home page, right? This one.
No. That's an index page. That's not the home page. The home page
Oh,
is just flash with nothing on it.
yeah, I think
Okay. On line
no.
54,
54. Oh, yeah,
that's the
here.
name of a function.
Hmm.
So the name of the function is called delete.
Mm. Mm.
Scroll up a little bit.
Oh,
Okay, line 40.
40.
That's the name of another function. What's the name of that function?
ID room.
No, the name of the function is update.
Oh,
Okay,
update.
scroll up a little bit more.
Or
Line 13.
update and edit, you want to
Yeah,
change those.
no,
Oh,
I want you to update and create.
update and create those two.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
So do you know what to change?
Maybe if you want to go back, just delete this.
Yes.
Oh, and update, delete this.
Yay.
Okay.
You're a genius. Okay. So you saved it. Now go try it. So go into localhost and create a new room
Logo.
and see where you end up.
Okay. Oh, I see. I see.
Right?
Mm.
So you change the behavior.
Mm.
Very easy, right? Okay.
Yeah, kind of.
Continue with the book now.
I wouldn't say easy. This is not easy. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So now we're gonna replace the default Phoenix homepage. So I
Oh,
explain here that when you go to the homepage, you're still looking at the Phoenix page. Yeah, so if you just remove the /rooms from the URL,
this is home.
yeah, that's home.
Mm,
So we don't want this.
mm.
Okay, so
Oh,
go, what does the book tell you to do?
oh. The book, if you go to the local host 4000, you will see that the homepage still shows the Phoenix default welcome page. We don't need that anymore. We can customize that page by first locating the path in the router.x file. This line get this page controller home split. Okay, so go to this one, router.x, this one, and then this, get this page home. This
Yeah,
get this page controller home is get
I'm
this
just,
one.
yeah, I'm just teaching the reader that that's how you know what
Hmm,
is handling the home router.
hmm,
So in this file, it says page controller
hmm,
is handling that experience. So the next thing you want to do is
hmm.
open up page controller.
Um,
Well, actually,
oh,
we
mm,
can keep it
oh,
because the well, actually, keep reading. What did I write?
oh, 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 oh. This specify that the page controller module and home function is responsible for handling that thing. What's this called? Back
Slash. Slash.
slash
Yeah.
oh default path inside the home function is a render function that specifies a home template. I
Yeah.
read it, but I really don't know what's going on. I need to see. So this thing is this module and home function responsible for inside home function is a random function. Okay. So I will just set that there's some.
I'll share my screen.
Okay, okay. Okay. Your turn.
So I will maybe explain how these templates work. So the way Phoenix is organized is by it's a pattern called MVC or Model View Controller. Maybe I can draw here. So MVC stands for Model View and control. Am I sharing my screen? Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have a browser and you make a request to the server, remember I said that everything that you're sending the server is text, and it includes like the path where you want to go. So this could be one path. This is like a home path, or this is another path. So all of this is handled by the router. This is the way that Phoenix is organized. So there's a router file.
What is router?
The router is just the name of this file, but it's handling delegation, which means like who should handle this, who should handle this, or who should handle something that looks like this, like MP13, whatever your room ID was, right? This is the job of the router. So the router just figures out, it doesn't do anything by itself. It just says, you should handle this one. Or, oh, I see you have a rooms. Well, okay, some other piece of code should handle that. So it gives jobs to other pieces of code. That's what the router does. So in the router, you have code. Pull up the router. So I do Command P to search, and I go router. So in this router, you see paths, right? So in here, it says, if there's a path that looks like slash, a page controller is handling that. If you see a path that starts with rooms, a room controller is handling that. So that's what the router does. And once the router gives the job to some controller. So that's the job of the router, is figure out which controller is handling which path. A controller's job is to respond to the request. So we have a request here. The controller's job is to reply with a response. And how does the controller reply? Well, it can just give back some HTML as a response, or maybe it needs to look up something in the database. So it uses two other pieces to do that. So it can like grab data. So, oh, this is model. But usually this comes from the model, which is kind of like a database or data, or it could be other API calls that says, I'm going to use this to get back some data. And then I'm going to use this and maybe give the data to the view. And then the view will give back some HTML, or it could be JSON, whatever. And the controller's job is to give that back to the response. So the controller uses the model in the view to give back a response. So this is called the MVC pattern. And in Phoenix, it's organized this way. We have controllers in a folder under the name of our project is called XR. So it's called XR, and we have a library, and we have a folder called XR, and we also have a folder called XR Web. The controllers is a folder provided for us when we did Mix Phoenix New, and all of our controllers come in here. So we have a room controller, a room controller here, and then all the view templates go in here. So for example, how do we display a form for creating a new room that looks kind of like this? How do we display the list? This is the list view, the index view that kind of looks like this. And so that's in here. And the page controller handles the views for this page controller. Now, page controller handles the home page, right? So if you look at the router, it says the page controller, the slash experience, meaning the home path, is handled by page controller and this function, home. So if you look at page controller, this is page controller. Here's the home function, and it renders it doesn't have to get any data. So it just renders this template here, home HTML. So there's a lot of convention. So I know this because I've read the Phoenix book. Since we're doing it quickly, I would just say the next step you need to do is to go modify page HTML home HTML. And it's hooked up in a way that it automatically works. So anything that's under page HTML, these are presentation files that Room Controller uses. Anything that's under Room HTML, these are presentation files that the Room Controller uses. So they have HTML in them. Room controllers don't have HTML in them because their job is to give back the response. So in here, you might see like response codes like to HTTP 200 or 202 or 400. Those are like server responses. So these are just different layers of abstraction. Controllers speak HTTP because they're talking to the browser. They say, oh, I need to give you a response. The model views speak database stuff because they're about getting data. And the view layers speak HTML because they're talking about presentation. So this is just a way of organizing the code. So anyway, returning to you, you just need to modify this file. You see how minimal my page is because it had a lot of stuff in there, which you'll see in a moment, that I just deleted. And I just said, welcome to the XR space. And then I put a link to the rooms page. So it's in the book. You can just copy that and paste that here. So back to you.
Okay. Okay, let's do it. Ooh. Okay, so let's find that thing. So room. Oh,
No, page HTML.
oh, page. Oh, home. Right. What's the HEEX? What's
That
this?
file extension is pronounced HEEX, and it is
Heeks.
just a kind of markup language. So
Mm.
it is Elixir code, but it is able to interpret special characters. For example,
Should I do this marketplace as extension that can help with Higgs files?
sure, search it.
Sure. Okay. So Higgs here. Second
Do the
or
first one.
first one. Okay. So Higgs. Oh, now it looks.
Well, you're not on the HEEX, you're on the room controller.
Oh, uh, okay.
Yes, that one.
Higgs. Oh, there are some colors.
Yeah,
Okay, let's take a look at what's this.
yeah.
Uh
You can actually just copy the whole
oh,
page, like select all,
oh,
and then just
select
delete.
all. Oh, delete.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
And then put your own tag in there and put like
Welcome.
Dom's World or yeah, sure, put that.
Oh, but I need HTML, the header body is this?
No, you don't need
No.
that.
Okay.
Well, it is going to be there, but you don't need to do it here because it's already in the layout. So the part that you're putting
Hmm.
is in the middle of the body and HTML tag.
Oh,
And
should
I'll
I
show you.
put like a header, like a script? JavaScript? No. Everything I just put, this is body already.
It's going to be it's going to be the code that you're writing now is going to be dropped inside the body. You don't have to write the body right now. I'll show you where that is in a moment. But
Okay.
customize this. Say, welcome to Dom space
Oh, DOM space.
and save it. And then go check your work. Go to the local host.
Wow, this is amazing.
So this
Oh,
is the rooms
localhost.
endpoint. Go to the home page.
Wow. Yay. What an
So
accomplishment.
yeah, so the H1 tag
Mm,
is not styled right now, which is me. So there's no styling at all. It went all the way to the left and all the way to the top.
mm,
And in the book, I show you how to add a little bit of styling.
mm,
So you see that
mm.
the H1 has like classes in there. This is
Wow.
because Phoenix right now by default comes
Mm,
with a CSS framework
mm.
called Tailwind. And so those are Tailwind classes. So you can just copy the part that says class equals text, blah, 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 all
Mm.
the way up to the end and paste that into yours. And then it will be centered and it will be bigger.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
okay, great.
So save that and
Mm.
then just refresh the browser again. Oh,
Wow, amazing.
nice. So if you look at those Tailwind classes,
Uh,
um, you can Google that or have like ChatGPT tell you what the Tailwind classes are.
mhm,
Like if you want to center something, so text center means put it in the middle.
mm,
P4 means give it like a padding of
mm,
4,
mm.
size 4, whatever that means. And then text 3XL just means make the text bigger.
Oh, 3XL.
So now
Oh.
I said that looks a little bit nicer.
Mm,
And then the following line just
mm,
creates a link.
mm,
So here we're using this dot link thing is what Heeks is kind of handling for you.
mm.
Or maybe it's not Heeks, but this is actually not a HTML tag. It's like a special component. But anyway, you can
Mm.
copy that and paste
Oh,
that in, and that will make a link to the rooms.
oh, okay.
Paste that in.
So, paste somewhere, right?
Yeah, paste it underneath it.
Underneath it,
You can
I
add some
can just
space.
do this.
Yeah, save
Oh.
it. So look at the classes. It's going to underline it, make it blue, add some padding, and
Mm,
text inside the link is rooms.
mm,
And then the href there, remember the sigil,
mm,
which is the squiggly thing P, the tilde P slash rooms, that's where it's going to go. So
mm,
when you click on the link of rooms, it's going to take you to rooms. So go
mm.
back and look at your homepage again.
Oh, yeah.
Now there's the rooms. And so now if you just look it
Oh,
up, you'll get here,
mm,
right?
yeah. Mm,
That's cool. Now the next step is we want to get rid of the stuff at top. You see how there's still like Phoenix
mm,
and Elixir Phoenix language at the top?
mm,
That's in a layout file.
mm.
So
Rail file.
yeah, so go ahead. The book tells you where it is.
Oh, this one?
No, keep going.
Oh,
Remove the
keep going.
default
Okay.
name.
Remove the default handling. Once we navigate to the room page, we still see Phoenix default header on the top of the page. This defined in the layout files. Let's change those two. My version on Phoenix 1.7 contains 2 layers of layout files, app.html, HEEX, and rule HTML.HEES. Those two? Okay, so component layout. Okay, so
Past it.
oh,
It's
give
in
me a
your,
sec.
yeah,
Oh,
it's in
oh,
XR web.
those two.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
You see, look at root.
root. Okay, here.
See, there's your HTML and head.
Oh, here. This
No,
one.
no, on line 2, there's HTML. Line 3 is head,
Uh,
right? Line 14 is body.
uh,
So you're expecting all pages should have this, which they should.
mm,
And I'm saying it's in the layout. So this actually gets rendered first. And you see line 15, inner content, what you wrote
mm.
is dropped in there, inside
Oh,
here. So this
oh,
is a template, which
mm,
means that it's not the final composition, but this is used and then it takes what you wrote and it puts it in there.
mm,
And it takes other things that other components write and it also puts it in there. So
mm,
that's why you didn't need to write HTML and body in your hello world part
mm,
because it would make the body come out twice. You don't want to have the body tag twice, right?
mm.
All right, what does the book say to do?
Okay. Mm. we will want to retain important parts of it so that Flash messages still work. So don't delete that. For now, I will replace app.html.hex with this thing. Okay, so copy this thing, app, this thing, delete everything, right?
Yeah, this is the current stuff that's there.
Okay.
Right. So if you save that and refresh, what do you see?
Oh, yeah, no Phoenix branding.
Cool.
Cleaned it out.
Yeah. Nice.
Cool. Okay, so what's the book say? The root Higgs looks fine for now. Its job is to wrap all the HTML and include the compiled JavaScript and CSS files. We want to keep all that. I just replaced the backup title suffix to say extra space instead of Phoenix. Okay.
Yeah, so if you look in yeah, that one. On line 7, you see how it says live title suffix? So if you go to your page and then you check the title, you see
Oh,
at the
Phoenix.
top of
Oh,
there? Yeah, so if you change that, it will change the tab.
okay.
Or put whatever
So,
put whatever you want in the root HTML. Yeah.
root HTML. So this
Yeah,
one need to
say yeah,
change
Dom's world or something.
framework.
Yeah, you
World.
can do that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right. And then refresh. Or actually you probably need
You
to
save.
oh yeah, save. Yeah,
Okay.
see
Yes,
open
Dom's
the tab.
word. Yeah.
So the that's because the browser automatically puts the page's title in that area. And the title is expressed in a title tag in the header. And so that's what that is.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So we have 15 minutes left. We can either finish this chapter and replace Phoenix's ES build. They're kind of complicated instructions, but you just have to follow them. But they're also kind of boring, and there's not much to be learned there. Or you can ask me any questions or need some explanation of any of the stuff you've done here. Does it
Maybe
seem a little bit?
keep follow up. Keep working on it. The reason why is because I think for me, learning code is not knowing everything at the beginning, but just just to immerse yourself in something that you kind of know, but not really know. So let's just keep doing it.
Okay, I'll just let you plow
Yeah,
ahead.
cool. Okay, so this one is done. So now is customize ES build. What's this mean?
So
ES build.
ES build is a project. It's a command line utility that will bundle your JavaScript together. Let me give you a demonstration. So
No,
in
okay. Do you want to share the screen?
uh sure, I'll share my
Okay.
screen and then I'll have you also demo it.
Okay.
Okay. In the Phoenix folder, our JavaScript is kept separately from our Elixir script. So in here, all of this page stuff, the file extension is EX. These are Elixir files. But there's another folder here called assets. And assets are like CSS and JavaScript and maybe even some images. all of our JavaScript is going to go in here. But instead of one file, we make our code organized in smaller files. And these smaller files can use each other. So I have in here an app.ts. This is a special file because it is the entry point, meaning without this file, none of these other files are reachable. For example, I could create a new file here, and I can say new file.ts, for example. And in here, I could just say something. So I can use a built-in function called console log, and I could just say, hi, how are you? And this will print out, hi, how are you, in the JavaScript console. So if I were to run my server, run it, but it has to be reachable. So I'm going to demonstrate right now that it does not say, hi, how are you? So when you load this, if you open up your dev tools, the way to do that is you go view developer tools. That'll open up this, or you can do Alt Command I, which is what I just did, and then click on the console. So right now, this is empty. It did not say, hi, how are you? I want it to say, hi, how are you here? So we can move this. We can import new file into our app.ts file. So app.ts, if you just import, use the import statement. I want to import this new file that I just made. So if I say import new file, TS. Let's see, user relative file. Okay, I have to use /. See how it's giving me advice down here. It said, you can't do that. Well, actually, I have to use T. Maybe just this. Okay, so I'm importing this file. So if I come over here, you see the console log came out. Can you see that? It says, hi, how are you? So now it's included. So you can create other files, but it has to be reachable. So app.ts imports all the other files. And in our layout, if I view source, so if I go bookmarks, not bookmarks, view, developer, view source, this is the root layout. Remember this? And in here, you see the JavaScript that it imported. But you only see one file here, app.js. But over here, you see app.ts, you see new file.ts. How come there's so many files here, but there's only one file here? And that's, to answer your question, that's what esbuild does. Esbuild bundles all of these files, all of these TypeScript files into a single JavaScript file to be included on your page.
Why not just create one JavaScript file? Why separate two small?
Because this file would be very big and unwieldy, right? When you, it might be like,
It's more like a scalable.
it's more manageable, right? You wouldn't want to have like a single file. It's hard for multiple people to work on it. It's hard for you to even load it. It's hard for you to find stuff. It's much easier to handle files that are about one thing. So for example, in this organization, I created something called systems, which you'll get to in a later chapter. And this one file is all about handling avatars. This one file is about managing color. This file is about managing materials. This one is about position, about creating the scene, managing state. Imagine if all of this is in one file, it's just like kind of messy. It's like too much going on and back and forth. So I like to organize my code to have each file be responsible for one small thing. Then I can look from top to bottom and I can see, oh, okay, I see what this file does. Versus I'm scrolling through thousands and thousands of lines of code. It's just not as nice. So I'm going to undo this change and remove this. And then in app, I need to remove this. And it reloads. And now that statement is gone. And we only have 5 minutes left, so I don't think you have time to to demo it, but maybe you should probably just do the rest of that page offline because it's just a task that you need to do.
It's fine. That's wait next week. Just follow up.
Or you can use that as content.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have any questions about the Phoenix framework or the database?
I think I would say that this is, I mean, I think I'm not familiar with it enough to ask questions. Which means that I still need to kind of start building things. I use Airframe and yeah, because Airframe is, I know at the beginning it's so easy to just create box and I use Glitch. So I mean, that is kind of my skill set. And for setting up server or data link, that is not my skills, but I think learning it's good. And Phoenix, now I know what's Phoenix, and I use it 2 times in my life so far, and I can keep learning it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Next time we probably
Yeah.
start with this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Glitch,
Hmm,
all the server side
hmm,
frameworks, you'll notice similarities between them. So
hmm,
Glitch is running like Express, which is a Node.js framework for giving those
hmm.
server side responses.
Yeah.
Um, but Express is kind of more lightweight. Like they don't give you a whole bunch of files, right? It's just really just one file that's
Hmm,
like, oh, one line, Express, run your server.
hmm,
So when people make projects like companies, when you go from one company to another company or from one team to another team,
hmm,
everybody's um, project looks a little bit different because people say when they start growing their Express app, they put things in different places and they bring in other modules. That's why I like frameworks because it has an opinion of where you should put your code, put them
hmm,
in controllers. Where you
hmm,
should put your HTML, put them in
hmm.
views.
Yeah.
So it has specific places of where to put those things. But it's actually doing a very similar thing to what your Express server on Glitch is doing, except Phoenix comes with a lot of bells and whistles. So
Hmm,
in Express, if you want to do some communications, you got to create like a WebSocket server.
hmm,
And in the next chapter, we'll hopefully, if you get past this ES build stuff, we're going
hmm,
to create a WebSocket
hmm.
using Phoenix channels, and then
Oh,
multiple people in the same room
hmm,
will be able to send messages to each other. And that'll be
hmm.
exciting for VR because we need
Yeah.
messages as an underlying foundation in order to make changes like,
Yeah.
oh, you moved over here, or you shot a bullet, or there's a
Hmm.
monster coming. We need a foundation of messages. So that'll be the next, um, hopefully the next Skillshare.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now I use Glitch, and Glitch will help people. I mean, Glitch is just so easy. I mean, if you want to see what I build to teach like a 7-year-old kid, it's
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very simple. Like
yeah,
it's just so simple that I feel like, yeah. So this is something that I teach. Very, very simple. Yeah, I mean, kids just one kid said that, oh, I want a tree and there's like a dog like running around. And when you click this, I probably need to share the sound. When you click this, yeah, I have this. Yeah, you see bark, right? And when I
yeah.
click this and it changes the color. So I got like a animation. And what I did is it's just not as hard. I would say this VS Code is probably very hard to kids, but kids kind of can just, they can type and I give them some link. And also this is very easy. It's like, I don't know, maybe for them it's not easy, but you have body and inside you have async. And then I think for the script, they probably it takes some time to think about, oh, why I need to create an entity and put the sound here, and I need to create another entity and here, right? And this script is telling, oh, this button, and I click it, and this sound will have something. And this one is another kind of the I would say camera, right? So camera, I put a cursor, cursor position, I think kind of like, yeah, but anyway, so cursor position is this. Yeah, so I make the cursor on the eye, center eye. So your eye is kind of like eye and trigger controller, but in the future, maybe it can be eye hand control, like more like Vision Pro. So all you need to do is to insert, like it's called event set component, and you can do all the animation or this event click color yellow. And it thinks this is kind of a very simple way to do things. And I also have like a lot of bugs and things running around and a lot of trees, models, docs, like, and it's very easy to just upload the file and copy and paste to the HTML. So, and later on copy and paste or trying to shorten this URL and putting your VR browser, and you can totally see or interact. So this is, I mean, very simple things that, yeah, that I'm kind of teaching. And yeah, I mean, this is like a more elementary school level, but I think today what Homan teaches is more advanced, like start with all the server router in your thing, and you don't even need the link. So let's say today I saw that, yeah, Homan, you just shared like Mozilla Hubs closed. So I'm wondering, for example, like I know somebody who owns or who created about 100 worlds in all space. Those worlds are so beautiful, but all space we know it shut down. So I start wondering that all those like no code tools are amazing. I totally, if you want to build something very fast, definitely go for it. But what if they closed? What can you do? Yeah. Any thoughts? Like if you build something in Mozilla Hub and it's closed, how can you retrieve the data or anything, or you just need to rebuild everything?
Well, the good thing about Mozilla Hub is it's open source, I believe.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, but it's not very well um, documented. They're like, there's no book
Um,
for
hmm,
orientation, but there's hope for you to be able to host your own server
hmm,
and run those files.
hmm.
Um, the the file that you make for your world, I think, is created with a spokes editor. And the export of the spokes editor, I think, is a GLTF file,
Hmm.
which means that it's like a standard, and many different kinds of software can open GLTFs.
Hmm.
So that's good for exporting a static scene. Let's say it's like a classroom looking place, or maybe like a convention center. So if your whole scene fits in a single GLTF file, then your so-called beautiful places, they'll be backed up and they will work
Mm.
and you'll be used to them. That's fine. If it was alt space, I don't know if there was ever a way to back up your world from alt space. If maybe people who created their world outside of alt space and then imported it into alt space, they still have their original files. But
Okay.
ultimately, when a site shuts down,
Mm.
there's certain components that offer like stuff outside of the scene,
Mm.
right? The way people join in and join out. So just having the GLTF file will
Mm.
not support like multi-user coming in. You need a server for that.
Mm.
And so there's many moving parts to
Mm.
that. So that's why the book that I'm writing is open source and it allows people to host your own website,
Yeah.
just like a traditional website with, Web 2.0 kind of
Mm.
like communications, so that if you want to shut it down, it's your business. But if you don't want to shut it down, just keep hosting it, and you'll be able to add more and more features to your
Yeah.
own personalized game or VR experience or teaching utility or whatever.
Mm.
Because I don't think we should give that control to companies. We shouldn't give
Mm.
it to hubs in case hubs shut down. We shouldn't give it to Altspace in case Altspace shut down.
Mm.
I want to have these series of tutorials in the books so that even
Mm.
if you're not a developer yourself, you can give this resource to a developer so that they can know from the beginning like how to build these features and add to it. Which even as a developer, like if I just look at Mozilla Hub's code base, like I don't automatically understand it. I don't know what's going on because there's so many years and so many things that they built up, and I have nowhere to start looking. It's very difficult. So I wanted to create a book that says this is how you built up the features step by step, and then and so you'll know how to change them, right?
Yeah, I think that that is very important because now I think companies is shutting down the experimental types of I would say divisions or anything that is not making money or just experimental. So
Right.
yeah, so I think just owning those or learning those skills were really helpful. So yeah, so thank you so much for sharing us with all the server stuff. I know probably for people who know how to set up a web design, web development server, you are very familiar with this. But for people who just first timer, just me, you might feel scared. But I think if I can kind of follow the book, and I asked a lot of questions, and I believe if you are the first time user or first time learner, you can be follow through, just follow me and trying to figure it out. So yeah, I hope this session would help you and see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.